Edu to learn more. That's lapu.edu.
Summer is here, so as the weather heats up, we start drinking and using more water at home. But don't reach for those nasty plastic water bottles. You can fill any glass or reusable bottle with filtered water coming straight from the taps in your house if you have a LifeSource Whole House water system. And a LifeSource Whole House water system reduces the odor and taste of chlorine from your water. Plus, you'll be bathing and showering in filtered water, so your hair and your skin will be free of the drying, harmful effects of chlorine. And with a LifeSource water system, you buy directly from the factory, which is right here in Southern California, where they've been serving people for over 37 years. And hey, if you're looking for a new career opportunity, LifeSource is currently looking for dedicated team members. So call LifeSource today and get full service and full competence in your water. Call them at 1-800-334-5009. That's 1-800-334-5009. Or just visit lifesourcewater.com. LifeSource Water. Taste and feel the difference.
Where do SoCal drivers go for a super selection of new Hondas and a super experience? The Norm Reeves Honda Superstore. Start with super value when you sell us your vehicle. Then choose from one of the largest Honda inventories in Southern California. Every new Honda is backed by our exclusive price protection guarantee, which states if you can find the same new Honda for less within 5 days, Norm Reeves will pay you the difference or buy your vehicle back. Plus, our friendly team makes car buying effortless and enjoyable. Hurry in for super selection and a super experience during the Norm Reeves 4th of July event. Visit our super award-winning Norm Reeves Honda Superstore locations in Huntington Beach, West Covina, the Irvine Auto Center, and the #1 Honda store in the world in the Cerritos Auto Square. Plus, we're now open in Vista. Shop online at normreeves.com. As for Global Honda New Vehicle Sales 2020.
Mattress Firm's biggest 4th of July sale ever. Hurry in and get a king bed for the price of a queen or a queen bed for the price of a twin. Plus, get a free adjustable base when you spend just $6.99 on Sealy. Or save $500 on all Tempur-Pedic Breeze mattresses. With our low price guarantee, you can rest assured you'll get the best bed at the best price. Only at Mattress Firm. Offer valid with qualifying purchase. Restrictions apply. Valid at participating locations only. For offer details, visit mattressfirm.com/sale.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents and Doug.
And we're back with Limu, Emu, and Doug for the final question. Category is things you climb.
All right, Limu, what do you think? You sure? We're going with Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Oh, so close. We were looking for stairs.
Huh. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Need a new water heater? Water Heaters Only, with over 53 years in business, offers low prices, quality same-day service, and for a limited time, monthly payments as low as $89 for a water heater replacement. Visit waterheatersonly.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Small business owners know cutting costs without cutting quality is tough. How do you trim expenses without hurting your business? Easy. Get Spectrum Business. Call 888-489-2212. Switch to Spectrum Business and you can get the best internet and phone services for half of what you're paying today. Cutting costs can be easy when you get Spectrum Business. Just call 888-489-2212. Restrictions apply. Call for details. In Season 2 of the hit podcast Paper Ghosts, investigative journalist M. William Phelps searches for the truth behind the tragedy of July 4th weekend, 1981. A massive fire engulfs a farmhouse in America's heartland. 4 members of a wealthy Ohio family are dead, but was it the fire that killed them?
My brother said, Carol, something's up. They're not telling us everything. That is not a fire. There is too much blood.
Listen to Season 2 of Paper Ghosts on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Millions of Americans are struggling to afford food for their children during the pandemic. If you need help, visit nokidhungry.org/help to find free meals for your kids. No questions asked. Just healthy food for kids who need it. Right in your community. Meals are provided by local schools, government agencies, and community groups. To find free meals near you, go online to nokidhungry.org/help on any computer or smartphone. This service is made possible by No Kid Hungry.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Everybody is a mixed-race couple, have you noticed, in TV commercials? And they're adding a lot of gay people.
Or it just feels like that because of for how long
That's true, I'll buy that.
people weren't represented.
Okay, that resonates.
Bill Handel, mornings from 6 to 10 on KFI.
On your wake-up call, KFI Am 640, more stimulating talk. I'm Amy King, in for Jennifer Jones-Lee. Here are some of the stories coming out of the KFI 24-hour newsroom. A couple of firefighters have been injured fighting a fast-moving fire in Gorman. The fire's grown to about 1,000 acres. It started yesterday afternoon. It's 10% contained. The Southland has sounded a bit like a war zone as a whole lot of people ignored warnings and set up their own fireworks for hours last night. LA County says the Delta variant is the dominant strain of COVID-19 in the area. More than a third of new cases reported in June were the Delta variant. And we're just minutes away from a handle on the news this morning. We've got fires, fireworks, and a new Fauci warning. But right now, a cautionary tale. Okay, so I know that last year was really tough on everyone. I had a little extra monkey wrench thrown in, which made it extra challenging. I call it the year of the 3 C's. It was COVID, cancer, and chemotherapy. So when the lockdown happened back in March, I started getting sick. So without going into details, there was a lot of stomach cramping and then throwing up for like 12 hours at a time. And it took a couple of months, but we did eventually find out on June 3rd and then confirmed on June 10th that I had colon cancer. June 23rd, so just about a year and a week ago, I had surgery to remove the tumor and about 11 inches of my large intestine. Bye-bye. That was followed by a week in the hospital, then recovery, then 6 months of chemotherapy as a precaution. That ended on February 10th. So in June, this month, or actually just last month, I got the trifecta of tests because all of a sudden a year had gone by. Blood work was done. All came out good. CT scan was good. And then I had my favorite thing in the whole wide world, I'm being very sarcastic, another colonoscopy, and the all clear was sounded. So I get to go back in 3 more years. But here's the part where I say, do as I say, not as I didn't do. So colonoscopies. Don't want to talk about it. It's not a pleasant subject. It's uncomfortable for me to talk about it. But it's super, super important to get them. And if you haven't, I would love to plead with you to go and get it done now. It's happening and showing up more in younger people, the big C. It used to be that the baseline for getting your colonoscopy was 50, but now they're saying, it really should be 45. Colon cancer is the 3rd leading cause of cancer death in the U.S. If you're over the age of 45, talk to your gastroenterologist, especially if you have any family history or anything like that. And the reason I would say to do that is because they do the test, or the scope. They do it. If they find something, they remove it. After I had my experience with all of this, I kind of went on a mission, and some of you might have heard me talking about it here on KFI, to encourage people to get colonoscopies. And it started with my very close circle of family and friends. Several of them, I would say, probably at least 60%, maybe higher than that. Actually, it's more like 75, ended up having polyps. But the good news is when they find it and it's a polyp, they just snip it out, right? Like just snip right during the scope, and it never becomes a problem. And then they do the tests on it, make sure that it's clear. If it's a completely benign one, they say come back in 5 years just because you have them. If they were concerned about it, they'll have you do your next colonoscopy in 3 years. So I didn't get mine when I was supposed to, and that's why I had to do what I've had to do for the last year and had 11 inches of my intestine removed. And as I said, as a cautionary thing, because there was no evidence that the cancer had spread, but as a precaution, or I like to call it my insurance policy, we got to do 6 months of chemotherapy. I don't recommend it if you could get around it, and I think getting a colonoscopy is one of the best ways to do that. It's a little bit, the procedure itself is not unpleasant because they put you out, propofol, you wake up and you felt like you've had a great nap. The prep is not wonderful, but it's not that big of a deal. And it's one day out of your life, and it can literally save your life. And my getting my colonoscopy, even though it was late and should have done it sooner, it literally has saved my life. And I'm thrilled to say that I don't have to go back to my gastroenterologist for 3 more years. And I'm hoping for good things. So that is my cautionary tale of do as I say, not as I did not do. And I wish for you much good health. And again, it's not a big deal, and it can save your life. So there you go. This is KFI and KOST HD2 Los Angeles. Time to check in with Robin Banks and see what's going on the 405.
In Long Beach on the 405 northbound, just before the 710, had a crash with a big tanker truck and a smaller car. Middle traffic lanes blocked. They did shut down all the lanes, though, at this point to get this tanker truck out of the way. So you're stopping right around Pacific Place with this crash. KFI in the Sky, sponsored by injury attorney SuperwomanSuperLawyer.com. Jeff Baugh, rep on the 101.
Oh boy, we got right to business here and a bad problem. According to pass now, you can't get from the San Fernando Valley into Hollywood using South 101. South 101 past Highland off-ramp right to Pilgrimage Bridge. All southbound lanes been blocked for a while now. Complicated crash, a lot of drivers involved. One person has died as a result. This is going to be here for a while. Now from Studio City, what you want to use is Cahuenga Boulevard West, southbound, going down towards the Hollywood Bowl. That'll get you down to Hollywood Boulevard or Sunset, and then you can rejoin the freeway if you must. Even going east 134 to the South 5 sounds like a way out of your way, but it's a very easy drive right now, right at the speed limit. This is the parking lot. If you go to the closure, it just stops there a little bit before Barham. If you're on that South 101, get off at Vineland. Once you pass that in Lancashire, you're kind of in the backup, so it's going to be there for a while. Injured in an accident, visit SuperwomanSuperLawyer.com. Jeff Baugh, KFI in the Sky.
There's a crash in the city of Orange on the 22 East connector to the northbound 57. Somebody threw something over the sound wall there, and everybody crashed together. So we're looking at that transition being closed. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Robin Banks.
If you liked yesterday, you're going to love today. We'll tell you about it next.
If you come home to a flooded house, or maybe you wake up to a flooded house, pipes break, dishwasher goes south on you, and all of a sudden you're looking at some pretty serious damage. What do you do? Well, you want to call your insurance company, right? That's a wrong phone call to make. The insurance company will send out an adjuster and will start telling you what it doesn't pay for. We don't cover this, we don't cover that. Here's what we will pay, and it's not enough to repair. So how do you handle the insurance company? Because you're way over your head on this. They're experts at not paying you. That's what they do. Well, let me suggest a phone call to Abner Gatt or online. Abner Gatt is a public insurance adjuster. Didn't even know that existed, did you? And his job is to negotiate on your behalf with the insurance company. Now it's a level playing field. Now you're going to get what you really deserve. And you've been paying premiums for how many years? Oh, by the way, they're really good at taking your premium, just the other way around. It's not so much fun. That's what Abner does. He and his team have thousands of satisfied customers. Abner, 818-917-5256. 818-917-5256. Visit AbnerGatt.com, ABNERGAT, just like it sounds, AbnerGatt.com.
Dean Sharp here. Nothing disrupts your life, your comfort, even your safety like a power outage. And outages are the new normal. So now is the time to set up your home with an emergency generator from Duffy Power. Duffy is Southern California's generator experts. And with 0% interest financing, emergency power totally affordable. Duffy Power, making sure your life, your comfort, and your safety are not to be interrupted. Dial pound 250 on your cell and say Duffy Power. Pound 250 Duffy Power, or on the web at DuffyPower.com.
Southland weather from KFI. Sunshine. Highs around 70 at the beaches. Upper 70s to mid-80s for Metro LA and inland Orange County. 80s to mid-90s for the valleys. Up around 100 for the IE. Could see some low clouds again overnight, lows in the 60s. Sunny tomorrow, highs around 70 at the beaches, 80 for LA and OC, mid-80s to low 90s in the valleys, and right up around 100 again for the IE. It's going to be sunny and very warm all the way through the week. It's 64 in Anaheim, 62 Redondo Beach, 61 in West Covina, 64 in Rancho Cucamonga. We lead local from the KFI 24-hour newsroom for producer Alex Razzo and engineer John Ramirez. I'm Amy King in for Jennifer Jones-Lee. This has been your wake-up call. Handle on the News starts now.
Handle on the News. Handle on the News.
His buddy,
Bill Handel.
he's being used as a Russian pawn. He's being fed information that is Russian, that is not true.
And now, here's Bill Handel.
And good morning. Monday, July 5th. Most people have taken the day off. We have not. Well, most of this crowd has. Let me say hello to the folks that is here. Matter of fact, if you really look at it, all we're missing is Jennifer Jones-Lee and Wayne. Amy King, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Alex, good morning.
Morning.
John Ramirez, good morning.
Hey, Bill, good morning.
Good morning. Dean is scheduled to be with us. He's running a little bit late. So he should be here next segment or two. Amy, I was listening to your segment on the colonoscopy.
Yeah.
And I believe just as strongly. I'm a huge fan of colonoscopy. As a matter of fact,
A fan?
actually, I bought a coupon book.
Did you?
Yeah.
I want to get one every year.
Yeah, it's you do 9 and you get your 10th one for free.
Nice.
They punch your card.
Nice.
And you're absolutely right. The actual colonoscopy is nothing. The prep, however, you say is not so bad. Yes, it is.
I disagree.
It is.
I think people get scared away because of the prep. It's
You
not
drink
that
a
big a deal.
gallon of this liquid, unfortunately named Go Lightly, which I've never understood that. And they tell you to just be near the bathroom because it has to clean out, of course, your intestines completely. You're better off just sitting in the backyard with a garden hose. It's a waste of time going to the bathroom. Hey, Dean showed up just a couple minutes late. Hey, Dean, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
I think Go Lightly is aspirational.
It is. It's hilarious. It truly is.
And here's an interesting fact. I think Go Lightly's the best prep that they have. And during the pandemic, supply chain stuff, they couldn't get it for months.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they were having to kind of revert back to one that's not as...
And it's also very entertaining to be in the recovery room with after having I won't say succumbed, having experienced a colonoscopy, because what they do is they literally fill your entire intestines with gas, carbon dioxide, because everything has to stretch so the scope can go in there, and it has to be released afterwards. And the recovery room, at least at Kaiser, there are about a dozen people, and at the far end, the nurses don't care. I mean, they've been hearing that, the recovery, they've been hearing that. When I was there was a lady that was down at the far end who, honest to God, sounded like an elephant in heat. It was, even the nurses loved it. It was trumpeting. It really was.
Okay, trumpeting.
It was, yes. Okay, anyway, so much for, and you're right, it is a lifesaver.
It is.
And people who don't get them, my mother-in-law died of colorectal cancer, and it's so preventable.
Yeah, unlike so many others. Like, this is like, take a day out of your life and save your life. Seriously.
So preventable. It's like mammograms. You're crazy not to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And and the baseline is, of course, getting younger and younger, 45. And so...
Yep, showing up in younger people, so take care of it now.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Dean is here. Good morning, Dean.
Good morning.
Yeah. So you woke up a little bit early?
I just left the house early, that's all. I wake up early.
Oh, do you?
Every morning, yeah.
All right, guys. You ready to do it?
Let's do
it. It's Handle on the News. Amy King in for Jennifer. Dean Sharp in for Wayne. And me, Lead Story. The fireworks in L.A. lit up the sky, although there were plenty of illegal fireworks as always. Now, we haven't heard yet of people getting their hands blown off, which we normally do, or severe burns. Haven't seen that. Hey, did anybody see, talking about the fireworks, I was watching last night both Fox and CNN, sort of interspersed. Fox covering the Washington, D.C. fireworks display, and CNN covering the New York display. I mean, it was half an hour of fireworks. I mean, it was just extraordinary.
The New York display apparently was the largest in the history of the city of New York.
It was unbelievable.
And I think that the guy who did the New Year, it's Sousa, right? I think that he did the one at the Rose Bowl, too. Like the same kind of design.
There's a couple of companies, and last year they had no business.
Right.
Obviously, and this year they don't know what to do with the business.
Business is booming.
And I love fireworks. I love fireworks.
It did sound like a war zone, though. Like, Dean just gave me the stink eye already. We just started. It was crazy, though, just non-stop. I mean, it sounded like it could be gunfire or, like, automatic weapons. It's probably firecrackers and stuff, but just boom, boom, boom.
3:30 in the morning. Our dogs. We got
your dogs had to go nuts.
Oh, we've got two dogs. One dog doesn't care. We've got two other dogs that literally, I mean, they want to crawl inside us. It's so bad.
Well, they have those vests. Those
doesn't
thunder
work.
jackets.
Doesn't
Don't
help.
work?
Doesn't help. Morphine.
Yeah, I'll
that
bet.
would work.
I'll bet.
There's no fireworks, but a fire burning up in the Gorman area. Broke out yesterday afternoon. It's already burned about 1,000 acres. There was some gusty winds up there blowing it around. 2 firefighter injuries, but they're minor. And they said that about 10% containment. Evacuations are underway in the Hungry Valley Recreation Area, like an RV park. But other than that, no other evacuation orders at this time.
And we don't know how quickly it's growing. I mean, there's no news on that yet, correct?
Just that it spread to 1,000. Yesterday afternoon it was like by about 4 or 5. It was 200 acres, and now it's 1,000.
Right, so it's not crazy, but
no, it's not like some of them that we've seen, which is nice.
All right, demolition crews set off explosives and brought down the rest of that partially collapsed Ford condo. The Surfside building. So it is now fully down, completely down, and residents gathered to watch it happen. And so now the investigation continues.
Yeah, from what I understand, the reason they brought it down, usually you would think they would bring down the building after search and rescue and search and recovery. That's when they bring it down. But I've never heard of this. From what I understand, they brought it down to open new pathways.
Yes.
Into the debris field, parts of which they cannot get to search for, well, they're saying search for survivors, but the reality is they're not going to find any.
Yeah, they said that they've already started, they're back in there digging. So after, they had to stop, obviously, when they brought the building down, but they're back searching, and they were talking about hopefully getting into a garage area where they thought there might be some pockets. But again, the collapse happened at like 1:30 in the morning, so the chances of finding anybody in there are pretty slim.
Unfortunately, it's not going to happen. And you wonder why there are so few even bodies they've been able to pull out relative to the number of missing. If you look at that debris field.
Oh, it's a building like that is what we call a concrete superstructure. It's concrete floors. And oddly enough, the way it collapsed appears to be the exact same way that they just demolished it this weekend, which is you blow out the lower pylons and you loosen the connection at every floor. And then once those heavy concrete floors start to pancake on each other, there can't possibly be anything in between them.
Yeah, the World Trade Center, were they able to pull out any survivors in the World Trade Center after the collapse? I don't think so.
They identified remains, but I don't know that they actually...
And when you talk about identifying remains, it's not like they're pulling people out.
Yeah.
It's like they have to do it with DNA. It is brutal. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back and continue on with more Handle on the News. Amy.
As we just mentioned, a fire burning close to the 5 freeway in Gorman has grown to about 1,000 acres. Some evacuation orders are in effect for the Hungry Valley Recreation Area in an RV park. The driver of an Amazon delivery van has been arrested on suspicion of DUI after allegedly knocking down a light pole and crashing into a parked car in Simi Valley. The guy arrested is a 23-year-old from Woodland Hills. Vice President Kamala Harris is spending another day at home in Brentwood. She got here on Friday. Yesterday, she visited a fire station in Brentwood to thank firefighters for their selfless service to the community. We've got things looking a little better in Orange. We'll tell you about that next.
The best summer plans start at Toyota's We Make It Easy sales event, where right now you can get great savings on some of our most popular models, like $1,000 factory cash back on a stylish and reliable Corolla. Plus, there are new Toyotas arriving daily, from fuel-efficient hybrids and versatile SUVs to our legendary trucks. So see your Toyota dealer today. Let's take delivery from model year 2021 new car dealer stock by midnight July 6th.
So, run this by me again. You took your used car to a Toyota dealer and they bought it.
Yep.
And it wasn't a trade-in for a new Toyota?
Nope.
They paid you on the spot.
Top dollar, baby.
Who does that?
And it wasn't even a Toyota.
Really?
Hey, where you going?
Where do you think?
Turn your used car into cash at your Toyota dealer. We make it easy. Toyota, let's go places.
For the health coverage you need close to home, lean on Molina Healthcare. Molina has 40 years of experience and covers preventive services, prescription drugs, maternity and newborn care, and more. For details, go to leanonmolina.com. Get the care you need. Lean on Molina.
Sunny with highs around 70 at the coast, 80 to upper 90s inland, near 100 for the IE. This report brought to you by Molina Healthcare. We've got a crash cleared in Orange on the 22.
22 eastbound connector to the northbound 57 had a wreck here with a couple of cars. They're both on the right shoulder, so the transition is clear. Just a little activity there on your right as you pass by. KFI in the Sky is sponsored by injury attorney Superwoman, superlawyer.com. Jeff Baugh, trouble spot on the 110.
You betcha. Southbound Harbor Freeway back to 105. Carpool express lanes blocked, and it is full speed approaching, so please do be careful. Very serious problem here. This has been going on for more than an hour. Coming through the Cahuenga Pass, southbound past Highland at the Pilgrimage Bridge, all lanes are shut down. It's a fatal crash investigation. The short story here from Studio City. Use Cahuenga Boulevard West. That'll take you southbound to Hollywood Bowl. You can get on Hollywood Boulevard or Sunset Be on your way. Even going east 134 to the South 5 down towards East LA. Sounds out of your way. It's a full speed drive all the way. Injured in an accident, visit Superwoman, superlawyer.com. Jeff Baugh, KFI in the Sky.
In Long Beach, 405 northbound before the 710. Everything moved over to the right lane for this crash. The drive actually looks really good as you pass by. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Robin Banks.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Shift hiring gears with Indeed. They go beyond the resume with 135 skills tests that help candidates show their abilities on things like computer proficiency or customer service. Indeed skills tests reduce hiring time by 27% on average. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
It's Sit and Six Independence Sale, where you can save $1,000 on select mattresses from Sealy, Beauty Rest, and Kingsdown.
Right, Dad. Plus $500 of Temper Breeze mattresses.
With your good credit, pay 0% financing for 24 months with your minimum monthly payment at 10% down. Plus save 15% on all Casper mattresses.
Dad, could you tell the marching band to cool it?
Sorry, once they start marching, they can't stop.
So this Independence Day holiday, trust your sleep to Sit and Sleep.
AMCO presents Bet You Didn't Know.
Bet you didn't know that your car's transmission is made up of 800 pieces. Also, bet you didn't know that AMCO's fixed over 40 million transmissions, and that AMCO offers a nationwide warranty.
Are you still driving around with that check engine light on? AMCO will read and report the trouble codes on your vehicle for free. Call them today.
That's AMCO, AA, MCO.
This is Leland Smith, owner of Service Champions Plumbing, Heating, and AC, with another good deed for free. Our technician Brandon was performing a tune-up for a customer whose mother had recently passed away. It was actually his mother's house, and they were preparing for an estate sale. Brandon noticed his son was really struggling to disassemble a bed frame. It was too big for one person to handle alone, so it kept falling on him as he was trying to hold it up with one hand while unscrewing it with the other. At first, the customer refused Brandon's offer to help, so he asked, "Haven't you heard of our good deeds for free?" Actually, he hadn't, because it was his mother's house. So So Brandon jumped in, lent a hand, and was able to help him finish the job in no time flat. Funny how a good deed for free could turn a big, difficult job into a quick and easy one. Let us help you too. Find us online at ServiceChampions.com. Service Champions, plumbing, heating, AC, and good deeds for free.
It's Mattress Firm's 4th of July sale. For a limited time, save up to $500 on a king bed for a queen price on top-rated mattress brands like Sealy and Sleepy's. Plus, get a free adjustable base with your $999 purchase.
You don't want to mess with the IRS. They have the power to garnish your paycheck, levy your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. That's all true. But thankfully, they're offering a way out, the Fresh Start Initiative. If you qualify, you could save thousands. The experts at Optima Tax Relief will fight to get you the best deal possible. And they have an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau to prove it. Call Optima for your free consultation.
Call 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief.
For details, visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Fed up with California, tired of the homeless, the traffic, the cost of living, the taxes. Ready to sell your house? You call Seller's Advantage. They want to buy your house or condo for cash. Seller's Advantage will buy your home as is and help you eliminate all the stress that comes with a traditional home sale. No fixing up, no cleaning, no weird strangers coming into your home, no haggling with unqualified buyers who can't get the mortgage. It is really the easiest way to sell your home. I'm not the only one talking about Seller's Advantage. Go read the reviews online. Seller's Advantage will close on your home in days or months. You choose. No realtor fees, no escrow fees. Seller's Advantage buys your house as is for cash. They're licensed brokers. They've helped hundreds of people in Southern California this past year. Call them at 888-321-AS-IS. SellersAdvantage.com, BRE number 01961658. That's 888-321-AS-IS. Call 888-321-AS-IS.
I get on the plane, I go to put my suitcase in above my row. There's a smaller bag in there, so flipping around this other bag, and the flight attendant comes, ma'am, 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 ma'am. All of a sudden I realize I'm ma'am, and she's screaming at me like I'm an unruly passenger.
Gary and Shannon, weekdays at 10 a.m.
It was a scene, dude. She was pissed at me.
On KFI.
And we're back, everybody. Handel here on a Monday, July 5th. We continue on with Handel on the News. Amy King in for Jennifer today. Dean Sharp in for Wayne and me.
Remember we just mentioned that they brought down that condo complex? One of the reasons they said they did it, too, was to do it ahead of Tropical Storm Elsa, which is headed that direction. Cuba has evacuated cleared out about 180,000 people because they are worried that Tropical Storm Elsa could cause heavy flooding. It's killed at least 3 people over several Caribbean islands, and now they're working to protect sugarcane and cocoa crops.
Right on track.
Right on track.
Yeah. And
I thought this was interesting. A lot of people who live in like mountain areas, they go into natural caves that are prepared for the emergency.
The hurricane season hasn't even started yet.
Nope. This is the 5th named storm. It also broke the record as the tropic's fastest moving hurricane. It's moving at 31 miles per hour. Well, that was on Saturday, but it's moving fast, which is actually not a bad thing.
No, it's when the problem is when these things stall over a given area, the rain keeps coming and coming and coming. This thing is going at a clip that you would on the streets, 30, 35 miles an hour. That's fast.
That is fast. It's supposed to hit near the Florida Panhandle. They haven't said if it's actually going to make landfall, but that it's headed that way, and that's going to probably arrive tomorrow.
Well, President Biden says that the U.S. is coming back together. I have a feeling that's a new tagline. But COVID is not yet finished. We have hit the 67% mark.
Mm-hmm.
The goal was 70 by July 4th. Hit 67%. You gotta give him some credit for that. That's pretty dang close.
Well, if you look what the government has done, the efforts that the government has put into this, the centers, going door to door now, community leaders. And I'll tell you what actually is going to do it, I think is going to turbo it, is we now know statistically as the number of COVID hospitalizations and deaths are going up because of the Delta variant.
Yes.
And those of us who have been fully vaccinated we're in very good shape. Right, so right now the hospitalizations are 99.8% people who have not been vaccinated. As people start popping off, and the morons who say, I'm not going to get vaccinated come hell or high water, you go, okay, then you are the guys. Like, people won't wear seatbelts. Your chances are pretty slim, but when you get into a car accident without seatbelts, my God, have you bought it? And that's what's happening. I don't trust the vaccine. The government is simply taking over. I love the story of the guy, I talked about this on Friday, who refused to get vaccinated. I'm not going to get vaccinated. I'm not going to let the government tell me what to do. 4 months in the hospital and a double lung transplant. Boy, he showed us, didn't he? Good for you.
There are still about 1,000 counties across the U.S. that have vaccination rates below 30%.
Well, you'll see the numbers now really start to turn. And is that going to do it? I don't know. Maybe people say, I'd rather take the risk of COVID than have the government force me to be inoculated. And I don't know the answer. There are plenty of those people out there.
Well, they can't force a vaccine, maybe, but can they force you to mask up again? Dr. Fauci said yesterday fully vaccinated Americans should go the extra step and wear masks when traveling to parts of the country with lower vaccination rates. He said vaccines are good, but even as good as they are, they're not 100%, and in low vaccination areas, it'd be an extra level of protection for you.
He's getting a lot of grief for changing his tune a lot, as is the CDC, and they're talking about the hypocrisy of the government. I haven't been hearing that as the virus is changing and mutating and going in different directions in terms of its transmission, things just change.
You know what I think they've done a really not great job at, though, is not, like, leading with that. You know, they just kept changing,
right,
but not leading into it saying,
here's why.
Yeah, like explaining we're learning more about the virus, and so now we're amending this. But they never say we're amending it. They just do it, and then they're seen as flip-flopping.
Yeah, and the CDC has different recommendation than does the NIH and the WHO.
Right, and so, for example, the CDC is saying fully vaccinated Americans are safe from the variants that are circulating, and fully vaccinated Americans are not obligated to wear masks.
Right, well, I don't think anybody's obligated at this point. I don't think there are many places that are mandating masks. Now, there are private businesses that are saying, hey, you don't have to wear a mask, you're just not coming in here. And they can't stop from doing that, except in Texas, and I think in Florida, where Governor Abbott in Texas and DeSantis in Florida says it is illegal for anybody, a private business, to say you have to wear a mask. And the pissing matches with the cruise industry, where they're saying, hey, you're going to get vaccinated and we're going to test you before you walk on this ship.
I'm going to wear a mask wherever you tell me I have to wear a mask.
I wear a
but
mask
if you tell
anyway.
me I don't have to, I'm done.
God forbid.
It's over.
Yeah, I mean, this
I'm
is what
fully vaccinated. If you tell me I don't have to wear a mask, fine.
All right, let's take another break. We'll be back and continue on. Amy.
CHP officers have shot a man who led them on a high-speed chase from Pasadena to downtown L.A. CHP says the guy ignored officers who tried to stop him for speeding around 11 last night. The California Highway Patrol says he eventually got to Commercial Street where he rammed into a patrol car. Officers then shot at him, and he was taken to the hospital. News brought to you by Pacific Coast Termite at 800 Pacific. A brush fire being fanned by gusty winds has burned 1,000 acres near the 5 in Gorman. LA County Fire says people in an RV park in Hungary Valley have had to be evacuated. It says the fire's 10% contained. The South Coast Air Quality Management District issued a smoke advisory last night. It's expected to stay in effect until at least this afternoon. The Biden administration has narrowly missed its July 4th goal of getting at least one COVID-19 vaccine shot to 70% of American adults. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze says the CDC reports 67% of adults have had one dose.
And 58% are fully vaccinated. And a new ABC News Washington Post poll finds that among those unvaccinated, 74% say they're unlikely to get a shot.
In LA County, health officials say the rate of COVID-19 infections has grown over the past few days. They say that's due to an increase in variant strains, particularly the Delta variant. Pope Francis is expected to be in the hospital for the next week, barring any complications. ABC's Megan Williams says he's recovering from colon surgery last night.
The Vatican says Pope Francis will spend a week at Rome's Gemelli Hospital after surgery for diverticulitis, a problem in the large intestine.